In this practices in civil engineering, I have selected a simple topic as there may be a participants from the different disciplines of the civil engineering, maybe from geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, transportation engineering, and many more. That's why I have selected the topic of the estimation of the foundation settlement. My topic of presentation is quick estimation of foundation settlement and new empirical correlations. As most of you are civil engineers and faculty in the different institutes, you may be knowing about the significance of the foundation settlement. Total settlement of the foundation is consist of the immediate settlement, consolidation settlement, and settlement due to the secondary consolidation. The settlement due to the secondary consolidation is generally neglected. SS is generally neglected as the quantity of or this amount of this settlement is very less in compared to the immediate settlement and consolidation settlement. Hence, we can get that the total settlement of the foundation is consist of the immediate settlement and consolidation settlement. Here I will be delivering the lecture mostly on the consolidation settlement of the foundations and quick determination of the same, which may be useful to all the civil engineers at any point of time while dealing with the structural design. Why I have been selected, that is computation of the foundation settlement and particularly consolidation settlement. Those who are dealing with the geotechnical investigations and geotechnical testing, they may be knowing that the time to investigate adds much time to finalize the soil report if you have to perform the consolidation test. In such circumstances, normally soil report excludes the consolidation test, and sometimes reliability is poor due to the sampling disturbances. Our aim of the work, whatever I am going to present here, is to establish fairly reliable forecast of the consolidation parameters and total settlement, and quick settlement estimation of cohesive alluvial deposits using new empirical correlations for the compressibility parameters. The scope of the work which I am going to show here in this presentation is need to study the subsoil characteristics of the alluvial deposits. As for all the soil civil engineers, they need to know the soil characteristics for their foundation design. Empirical correlations for compressibility parameters of the soil has been studied from the various literatures and applied to the our region to find the feasibility of application of such relations which are available from the different authors for different regions. Some statistical analysis of the subsoil characteristics has been done in view of deriving the new empirical correlations. Verification of the range of properties by laboratory test is being done by performing the various laboratory tests, and new correlations were developed. Proposed new empirical correlations for alluvial deposits is being empirical model for foundation settlement of the alluvial deposits has to be presented in this presentation. For all the civil engineers, this part may be useful to you in view of having the knowledge of the foundation settlement and estimation of the quick settlement. Going to the next slide, We are coming to the literature review on the consolidation parameters. Whenever we are dealing with the consolidation study, we need to how to find out the various consolidation parameters which are useful in the foundation design. The parameters which are being used and found in using the consolidation test data are the pre-consolidation PRECI and over-consolidation OCR, over-consolidation ratio OCR. These two parameters particularly useful in using the parameters to find out the magnitude of the settlement, which parameters you will have to use in case of the normally consolidated soil and over-consolidated soil is being defined on the basis of the consolidation ratio. The compressor index and recompressor index and coefficient of the volume change are the parameters which are dealing with the magnitude of the consolidation. Whereas the time rate settlement is a parameter which deals with the time required for the foundation settlement. So these are the parameters which we are going to study here in terms of the literature review, as well as to derive the new empirical correlations for our regions. Am I audible to you clearly?
Yes, sir.
Can anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see the slides clearly?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Fine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we come to the pre-consolidation pressure. Pre-consolidation pressure is what? Pre-consolidation pressure or stress is the maximum effective stress to which the soil has been subjected in the past. Generally, we are using the Casagrande's method, which is being given in the Indian Standard Code, to obtain the pre-consolidation pressure from the consolidation test. And this method is based on the point of the greatest curvature. We are using this method in most of the textbook. We use this method to find out the pre-consolidation pressure. What is the over-consolidation ratio? This parameter is being used in determining the magnitude of the settlement. The ratio of the pre-consolidation pressure and present overburden pressure is known as the over-consolidation ratio. Means how much soil has been affected in the past with the stress, it has to be considered in determining the over-consolidation ratio OCR. I have shown you the different parameters such as the compression index, compression ratio, and coefficient of the volume change. The value of the OCR decides which parameters will be used to find out the settlement or consolidation settlement HC. We'll come to that also while studying the model introduction for estimating the foundation settlement. Various graphical methods have been available. Researchers have suggested the many graphical methods to evaluate the pre-consolidation pressure. These methods are usually based on the relationship of experimental void ratio E and effective consolidation pre-dash. Many of you may be aware of determining the pre-consolidation pressure, which is being used in our geotechnical engineering textbook we are referring. All these methods are operator dependent as they require accurate reading of logarithmic scale, drafting capability, and proper judgment of selecting the points. Going to the next slide, Some of the graphical methods which are available in the literature has been presented here. The various researchers have given their method for finding out the pre-consolidation pressure based on the, as discussed, E versus P dash curve. So these are the various graphical methods can be used for finding out the pre-consolidation pressure. Now, what is the Casagrande method and why we are generally using this method to find out the value of the pre-consolidation pressure PC? Casagrande method, that is E versus log P curve, is the oldest method to evaluate the pre-consolidation pressure. These methods remain to a standard method in comparison to the methods given by Jones et al. In 1989. Many methods are available, but as per the Jones suggestion, Casagrande's method is one of the best methods to determine the pre-consolidation pressure. That's why our Indian standard recommends the Casagrande's method to determine the intergranular pressure. This method gives the good result provided there is a well-defined breakpoint in the E versus log P curve. Now, I am showing you some of the literature review also for all the parameters. Purpose of showing the list of the long literature review is to help the researcher. Here, the various papers which has been related to the pre-consolidation pressure has been listed here. The papers which have been marked with the red color are being mostly used in our research work. Chetia and Bora in 1998 have presented the paper or published the paper on the title of estimation of over-consolidation ratio of saturated uncemented clays from simple parameters. This paper is being published. So based on the simple parameters, how to find out the pre-consolidation pressure, which we have attempted here in our research. Similarly, some of the other papers related to the pre-consolidation pressure have been presented here in these slides. Many of the literature review is being shown to you here for all the parameters may be useful to you at some point of time while going for the research in geotechnical engineering. Now we come to the next part, that is the magnitude of the settlement. Once we are having the value of the pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio, we can go on determining the magnitude of the settlement. In case of the normally consolidated soil, we are using the compressor index CC for finding out the magnitude of the settlement. Whereas in case of the over-consolidated soil, we are using the coefficient of the volume change MV for finding out the consolidation settlement of the soil. Generally, the CC is being used for finding the SC, that is, SC is equal to HCC upon 1 plus E0 log 10 sigma 0 plus delta sigma upon sigma 0. This equation is being used for finding out the consolidation settlement using the compression index. Whereas MV is being used for finding out the consolidation settlement in case of the over-consolidated soil, which can be determined by SC is equal to MV delta sigma H. So this you may use for the normally consolidated soil. This you can use for the over-consolidated soil. However, in the book of the Robert W. Day and other references, it has been given that the combination of the compression index and recompression index can be used in case of the over-consolidated soil for finding out the consolidation settlement. So some equations are available in combination with the compression index as well as the recompression index for finding out the magnitude of the settlement. Laboratory consolidation test takes a long time and also requires the undisturbed samples. In order to overcome this difficulty, several researchers have suggested the empirical correlations for CC and MB, that is compression index and coefficient of the volume change, to be determined from the simple parameters such as liquid limit, void ratio, water content, and shrinkage index. So these are the parameters can be used as a part of the empirical correlations to find out the compression index and coefficient of the volume change. These empirical correlations are being suggested by Scampton, Terzaghi, Nishida, Amin, Nath, Parkin, Komoto, Nagaraj, and many more. And recompression index CR is the slope of the E versus log sigma rebound curve. Generally, it is the 1/10 of the CC value, that is compression index value. In our work, we tried to introduce the parameter known as the compression ratio, that is CC dash, and this is CC dash is equivalent to CC upon 1 plus E0. So in our work, we are going to introduce this parameter for computation of the magnitude of settlement. Literature review related to the parameters for magnitude of the settlement. Here you have Ajoj et al. Have given the regression analysis of soil compressibility. The many references are available to find out the magnitude of the settlement. These parameters are related to the compressor index, recompressor index, and coefficient of the volume change. Now you do have whatever literature review has been marked with the red colors are being mostly used in our work, which has been shown here. So with this, I'm going to the next slide here. Literature review related to the parameters of magnitude of the settlement. As I'm telling you, the literature review which has been marked with the red colors are being used in our work mostly whenever we have derived our new empirical correlations. Some of the literature review related to the parameters of magnitude of the settlement is being continued here in this slide. Compressor index correlations with index properties, Saxena et al. This paper is one of the good paper which has been presented in Indian Geotechnical Conference, IGC 1995. The paper is related to determination of the compression index as a function of the various simple properties. This compression index is as a function of liquid limit. Compression index is a function of water content. Compression index is a function of void ratio. And compression index is function of the multiple parameters such as void ratio, liquid limit, and water content. These parameters may be used for determining the parameters concerned with the magnitude of the settlement, such as the compression index. Now, as far as the coefficient of the volume change MV is concerned, Coefficient of the volume change MV is a parameter which indicates the amount of compression that a soil will undergo with an increase of pressure. It is defined as the change in volume per unit volume or a unique change in the effective vertical stress and is given by coefficient of the volume change MV is equal to delta E upon 1 plus E delta sigma. H.B. Nagaraj in 2005 have presented the paper in Symposium on Predictions in Geotechnical Engineering organized at IIT Madras by Professor Rajagopal and Professor Robinson, in which he has presented his paper that the shrinkage index is one of the parameters based on that the coefficient of the volume change can be determined. He has shown the empirical correlations for determining the coefficient of the volume change based on the shrinkage index. So coefficient of the volume change MV can be determined based on this. Now, the important part of the consolidation settlement is that only knowing the magnitude of the consolidation settlement is not enough. We need to know the time rate settlement. How long will it take to settle? What time will require for the settlement of the foundation? Will it take 1 month or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years? How will you come to know? Whenever the foundation is resting on the saturated clay, at the same time, the time required for consolidation is to be known. That is the important thing, which gives us that, which has to be determined on the basis of the coefficient of consolidation CV. You might have been referred during your civil engineering studied, or those who are dealing with the geotechnical subjects or allied subjects, they may be knowing that to determine the coefficient of the consolidation, you do have the two methods generally given in the textbook. One is the log time fitting method, and another is the square root time fitting method. These are the methods available to find out the coefficient of the consolidation. Here, when we are going to the next slide, it has been written that the rate of the settlement is directly related to the rate of the excess pore pressure dissipation. Coefficient of the consolidation CV is useful in the determination of the time required for a finite percentage of consolidation to occur. The coefficient of consolidation CV generally decreases as the liquid limit of soil is increases. Lambe and Whitman in 1969 have been presented their paper for their study on the relation of the coefficient of the consolidation and the liquid limit of the soil. This coefficient of the consolidation versus liquid limit has been presented here by Lambe and Whitman in 1969. The liquid limit versus coefficient of the consolidation CV as shown here. Increase in the liquid limit decreases the coefficient of the consolidation. It does mean that higher the value of the liquid limit requires more time to settle, whereas the lower the liquid limit of the soil requires, the less time to settle. So higher the value of the coefficient of the consolidation indicates the time required for the consolidation is less. Generally, in case of the saturated fine grained soil and clay, this time required is high. Literature review related to the coefficient of the consolidation is being presented here. Some of the paper which has been marked here with the red color, something is being used in our research work. You can find out this paper. The three of the papers related to the rate of the settlement, which has been marked with the red color has been shown here, are being used to study why do we get the difference in the measured settlement as well as predicted settlement. Some of the causes of difference in finding out the predicted settlement and measured settlement has been discussed here on the basis of this. Literature review related to the coefficient of the consolidation is being continued. A number of literatures has been found out here. I'm just skipping this literature only by showing this. Three of the case studies related to the predicted and measured settlement have been studied. Desai 1996, OS and Stengli 2001, and Anatolian Motorway Istanbul, Darling and Smithek 2002. Now, based on these papers, we have been found out that in some cases, the predicted settlement deviates to a large extent from the actual settlement observed. Causes for this variation may one or more of the following: sample disturbance and improper valuation of soil, profiles of stratified deposits, non-homogeneity, anisotropy, and irregularity of the soil profiles, presence of irregular sandy seams within the clay layer, non-ideal material behavior, selection of the representative location, and assumptions of the one-dimensional consolidation. These are the some of the causes why the predicted settlement is being deviates to a large extent from the actual settlement in some of the cases. This is what I have been shown to you is the literature review. Now I'm coming to you about the study area and the work which has been carried out. Here our study area is the alluvial deposits of the South Gujarat region. Our city is a Surat city, which is located in Gujarat. We have been studied this for the Surat Municipal Corporation SMC and Surat Urban Development Authority SUDA. The study area is being divided into the 10 zones. 6 zones are of the Surat Municipal Corporation and 4 zones of the SUDA. The subsoil characteristics of the each zones are studied in the detail. This is showing you the study area. This study area indicates the 6 zones of the Surat city. 6 zones are East Zone, North Zone, West Zone, South Zone, Southwest Zone, South Zone, and Central Zone. These are the 6 zones of the Surat city. Comes under the Surat Municipal Corporation. This division is as per the work whenever it was carried out. These were the divisions which we have been divided. Coming to the next slide, which area or locations comes under the which zone are being mentioned here. As this has been divided into the 6 zones, you do have Southwest Zone, West Zone, North Zone, East Zone, Central Zone, and South Zone, including Southeast Zone. So the 6 zones, these are the locations, comes under the Surat Municipal Corporation in these zones. Now I am coming to you about the Surat Urban Development Authority. What are the zones of the Surat Urban Development Authority? As you have total 6 zones, number 1 to 6 zones are of the Surat Municipal Corporation, which has been shown here in the earlier slide. Now you do have 4 more zones are here. Northeast SUDA, northwest Suda, southwest Suda, and southeast Suda. Hence, this area, study area is being divided into the 10 different zones. These zones have been shown here. What are the area of the Surat Urban Development Authority? In which zones, which locations are being followed? It has been also mentioned here in the shown slide. This I have discussed to you about the zoning which has been done for our study. Now we come to the, what are the subsoil characteristics? The Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority zones with average subsoil characteristics. The soil characteristics of each zone are studied up to a depth of 8 meters. This depth is assumed to be a stress zone for the shallow foundations. Generally, in our region, for 10 to 12-story building, the foundations are located at the 3-meter depth, and these are the isolated foundations. Now, the most soil properties which has been studied, these are up to a depth of the 8 meter. What are the properties of the soil which we have been studied? These properties are in the form of liquid limit in the range of 30 to 60, plastic limit in the range of 50 to 30, plasticity index in the range of 50 to 30, void ratio in the range of 0.6 to 0.9, dry unit weight in the range of 14.5 to 16 kilonewton per meter cube, water content in the range of 15 to 25. The most important thing is that the percentage finer, less than 75 micron, are in the range of 70 to 100. And compression index and compression ratio values has been presented here in this range. Compression ratio is in the range of 0.2 to 0.3, and compression index is in the range of 0.2 to 0.3, and compression ratio is in the range of 0.12 to 0.17, respectively in the each zone. This slide is being shown to you about the subsoil characteristics of the alluvial soils. Soil properties, what are the most range? So most range has been presented here in this slide for liquid limit, plastic limit, plasticity index, void ratio, dry unit weight, water content, porosity, fines, clay percentage, silt, compression ratio, compression index. This should be compression index, compression ratio, differential free soil, mineralogy, and soil classification. Now I'm coming to the next slide, in which some statistical study have been done. The statistical analysis of soil index and consolidation properties. A dataset containing the index and consolidation parameters are used to conduct a statistical study to determine the suitable correlations for estimating the consolidation response. This statistical analysis is carried out in obtaining the most suitable and applicable relationships. This statistical parameter has been studied. Mean, median, standard deviation, coefficient of variance, skewness, kurtosis, and range are studied for all the zones. Statistical summary of subsoil characteristic of all zones of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority shows the mean value range for the different properties has been shown. This mean value range for the liquid limit, plastic limit, plasticity index, void ratio, dry density, water content, and fines have been shown here. Coefficient of variance for most soil properties in all zones found below 30%, except very few cases. The lower values of the skewness and kurtosis in all the zones indicates the symmetry of the data. In view of that, it has given us to give the confidence to derive the empirical correlations. Now, empirical correlations for alluvial deposits. The magnitude of the consolidation is determined from the compression index. Compression index of the soil is generally obtained from the consolidation test data, E versus log sigma. Researchers have suggested various correlations for compression index of soil, as consolidation tests are having many limitations. Some of the empirical correlations available from the literature has been used for our reason. Whatever empirical correlations derived by the other researchers may be for particularly their soils or their regions or some of the special regions. In view of that, however, to know the applicability of the various available correlations, we have applied for our soils. These correlations were being used Terzaghi and Peck for Brazil soil, Nath et al., Aishwarya Prasad et al., Campton, Karp, and Nagaraj Murthy, 1985. These correlations were being used. Empirical correlations from literature using the void ratio is also being studied, given by the various researchers and given for the different soils. Let me confirm, may I be audible to you clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. Could you see my slides very clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your confirmation. Now I'm coming to the determination of the compression index from liquid limit of the soil. As shown to you, the various researchers have given the various empirical correlations in the previous slide. Based on that which we have been applied to our soil, and compression index value have been found out using these empirical correlations. Now, this compression index value is from the test data, whereas these these values have been found out, whatever written in these tables or in this column are from the various researchers. So these values is being compared with the measured data sets which we have performed. However, what is the output of this comparison? The black lines which you are going to see here, various lines, it just indicates that the determination of the or drawing the plot of the compression index versus liquid limit for our soils using the various researchers' equations. Whereas this red line is showing from the test data. So it has been found that no one empirical correlation is matching exactly with the other data which we have been derived. Similar thing has happened to us for the void ratio correlations. Whatever we have been taken from the other researchers and for other soils, this is the value determined in our laboratory. These are the values obtained from the various correlations from various researchers. The similar plot has been shown here and no one is matching with our values. Then we have been taught that there is a need for development of the new correlations. Various methods and empirical correlations are available to predict the consolidation parameters. Use of empirical correlations for consolidation parameters cannot be generalized for all places and all soils. Empirical correlation should be used only after verifying its feasibility for particular region and type of soil. As discussed to you, initially why there is a need to do this work is reliability is poor, which at the time soil report excludes the consolidation test. Normally, in many cases, due to the quick preparation of the reports, etc. And that's why we need to go for the empirical correlations. In view of that, the 14 laboratory tests were performed on the 14 samples being taken from the different zones. The soil samples were being taken from the Surat Municipal Corporation as well as from the SUDA, from the different zones. The simple values as shown to you earlier, the liquid limit, void ratio, plasticity index, porosity, water content, etc. has been determined, and we have been found out the compression index and compression ratio by performing the consolidation test. In view of that, we have got some plot for the compressor index versus liquid limit. This plot is being showing the compressor index versus liquid limit, where the R square value is 0.8435. Compression index determination based on the void ratio, using the void ratio having R square value is 0.7223. Compression index value using the plasticity index having R square value is 0.7862. Compression index value using the porosity N0 having R square value is 0.7115. The compression index from water content have been presented here, and this value of R square is 0.7709. After determining the compression index using these values, as I talked to you, we tried to introduce the parameter Cc dash, which is equivalent to Cc plus 1 plus E0. In view of that, the compression ratio Cc dash has been determined based on the simple parameters using the lab test data. That is compression index value R square is equal to 0.9063. Similarly, you do have the compression ratio Cc dash is equal to from the plasticity index, R square value is 0.8579. And the compression ratio from water content is Cc dash from water content W, where R square value is 0.6735. So using these simple parameters, we have been done the plot. Using the simple regression analysis, we have been found out some empirical correlations for finding out the compression index and compression ratio. And this is the summary of the compression index and compression ratio, which we have been found using the simple parameters such as liquid limit, void ratio, plasticity index, porosity, and water content. It has been observed that the value of the magnitude, value of the parameters concerning with the magnitude of the settlement, such as the compression index and compression ratio, having the correlation coefficient is 0.8435, 0.7862, 0.9063, and 0.8579 with the parameters liquid limit, plasticity index is more preferable in compared to the other parameters. The study shows this. Now, what is the significance of plasticity characteristics on compressibility parameters of alluvial deposits? As shown to you, the relations which we have been developed, from that relation, the values obtained using the liquid limit and plasticity index are giving the more correlation coefficients. So plasticity characteristics plays a most important role in deriving the magnitude of the settlement or the parameters determining based on the magnitude of the settlement. In the previous study, the new correlations were proposed for prediction of the compression index and compression ratio using the liquid limit, plasticity index, water content, void ratio, and porosity for alluvial deposits of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority. Correlations obtained using the soil plasticity characteristics having higher value of the correlation coefficients. These correlations are used for predicting the compression index and compression ratio for all zones of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Suda region. Applications of new correlations. New correlations are derived for compression index of soil using soil index properties, are used for the different zones of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority. Experimental results of the different zones are studied for soil index and consolidation properties. Measured data of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority giving the reasonably good correlation coefficient between soil plasticity and compression characteristics. Initially, liquid limit and plasticity index are used as single parameter for determining the compression characteristics of alluvial deposits. From statistical analysis and detailed study of the results found that using both the parameters of soil may improve the correlation coefficients. In view of that, we tried to use the combination of both the parameters, such as the liquid limit and plasticity index both. We have tried to use the average value of both and use the parameters, and which has been applied for the predicted and measured compression index and compression ratio of Surat Municipal Corporation, as well as for the Surat Urban Development Authority. These values has been used. Now we come to the new correlations which we have been developed. Study was carried out for determining the consolidation parameters of soil using single or multiple index or plasticity characteristics. New empirical correlations are derived from pre-consolidation pressure, over-consolidation ratio, coefficient of consolidation with soil plasticity characteristics. Correlations are also obtained for compression index and compression ratio using the multiple parameters, mean two parameters. One is liquid limit and another is the plasticity index. New correlations are verified with existing consolidation test data sets. Consolidation parameters such as pre-consolidation pressure, over-consolidation ratio, compression index and compression ratio, time rate settlement, coefficient of the consolidation. I have already discussed to you about these parameters, significance of each parameter, literature review of each parameter. Various papers published on these parameters have been discussed to you. Now we come to how we have been derived our correlations. Nagaraj et al. In 1991 shows that the position of the rebound paths depends on the value of maximum pre-consolidation pressure PC, and hence equation for generalized compression path for over consolidation states can be derived incorporating this additional parameters PCS. This PC indicates the pre-consolidation pressure. P0 indicates the existing overburden pressure. E by EL is the simple parameter from which we can determine the PC value. E is the void ratio, that is known as the natural void ratio or the original void ratio, and EL is the void ratio at the liquid limit, which is equal to L is equal to WL into G, whereas E is equal to WG in case of the saturated soil. Chetia and Vora in 1998 primarily considered the effect of the stress history, their characterization, and assessment in terms of their over-consolidation ratio, OCR. The most major objective of the study was to establish an empirical correlation between over-consolidation ratio and parameter E by EL, where sigma is similar to the P0, which has been shown to you in the last slide, that is the original overburden pressure. So OCR can also be determined using the E by EL value, which has been presented here. Based on this, we work on our soils, our test data, and we have been derived the empirical correlations for pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio. Using soil index and consolidation test data, new empirical correlations are proposed for pre-consolidation pressure in kilonewton per meter square and over-consolidation ratio for alluvial deposits. Here you can determine the pre-consolidation pressure by substituting the value of E by EL as far as this case is concerned. Whereas P0 is the original effective overburden pressure, that is gamma into D. Similarly, you can find out the OCR on the basis of E by EL ratio, and you can find out the values of pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio. The work which have been done on the basis of Nagraj, et al. And Chetia and Vora, we tried to derive these equations. Now we also have been compared these equations with the predicted settlement or predicted parameter. This species from correlation and this species from test data. While comparing with the various test data, it has been found that the R-square value is 0.75. So comparison of the predicted and measured value of the PC has been found in the range of R-square is around 0.75. Measured versus predicted over consolidation ratio, whenever it has been compared with these values and drawn, it has been found that the R-square value is equivalent to 0.793. Giving the good value of the R-square indicates that the way in which we are going for deriving the correlations, an attempt which we have been made, it seems to be successful. Now I'm going to the next slide. Finding out the coefficient of consolidation from liquid limit. CSV value is being determined, coefficient of consolidation from the liquid limit with the R-square value of 0.7867. Now this has been indicates that the increase in the value of the liquid limit decreases the coefficient of the consolidation. Decrease in the coefficient of the consolidation increase the time for consolidation. Sometimes you might have been found that it takes a long time for the consolidation and it takes a long time for the settlements too. Measured versus predicted value of CV has been compared with the data sets when again an R square is being found out as 0.8661. Coming to the next slide, the CV has been found from IP value, that is the plasticity index. This is giving the Moore value of R square in comparison to the liquid limit while using the IP value, plasticity index value. This is giving the good value of the R square while comparing with the correlations for the plasticity with the plasticity index. Similarly, the coefficient of consolidation from correlations and from the test data is being compared, and this value has been found out as R square is equal to 0.9484. Now, correlations for coefficient of the consolidation, some write-up is being written here. In the present study, the coefficient of consolidation is correlated with the liquid limit and plasticity index of soil. It is observed that CV for alluvial soil of above mentioned subsoil are giving the higher value of correlation coefficient with plasticity index in compared to the liquid limit. The correlations of CV with liquid limit is also quite satisfactory. We have been used the IP value in some of the cases in correlations, but if we do not have the IP value, in such cases using the liquid limit value is also sufficient, which you can have to be see. Correlations for coefficient of the consolidation. New empirical correlations are derived using the liquid limit and plasticity index. For determining the coefficient of consolidation of alluvial soils of above mentioned properties, using the test data of loading range up to a 200 kilonewton per meter square. The correlation coefficient of CV with liquid limit is 0.7867 and with plasticity index is 0.9156. Correlations for compression index and compression ratio of soil. Computation of magnitude of consolidation settlement requires the consolidation parameters. This has been discussed at length in the literature review. The significance of each parameter has been discussed also. Using the empirical correlations for these parameters has also been discussed to you. Now we come to what parameters we have been derived. So value of the compression index is being determined on the basis of the liquid limit and plasticity index for the measured value and predicted value for R square is equal to 0.8519. Now, this compression ratio from liquid limit is once again has been determined with the liquid limit value, and this R square is 0.8588. Now again, using both the parameters, liquid limit and plasticity index, the compression ratio CC dash, which we call as CC upon 1 plus C0, is having the R square value is 0.8674. Now, these values are also closer in terms of 0.93 for predicted and measured settlement. This is showing the histogram of the compression ratio for liquid limit correlations. This is for the measured values and this is from the correlations. Both the histograms are showing the similar shapes here. You can find these values on shape with somewhat variations while using the liquid limit values. While using the liquid limit and plasticity index values for compression ratio, having R square is 0.7986, these histograms you may find here showing the very little variation in both the histograms as far as the frequency in percentage is being marked for the different values of the compression ratio. The various empirical correlations are used for determining the compression ratio of different consolidation test data. It is found that the use of liquid limit and plasticity index both gives the better correlation coefficients. The purpose of study is to predict the settlement using the simple model with empirical correlations. Now, I'm coming to you about what is this model and how this model works in determining or in predicting the settlement of the foundations. Before that, we have been compared the values of the compression index and compression ratio from the different literatures for the Pisa Tower Horizon A, B2, B4, Kolkata Temple Site, and Anatolian Motorway. It has been found that in most of the cases, difference in obtaining the magnitude of the settlement is less than 10 or 11%, whereas in case of this Anatolian Motorway, this difference is 16%. This indicates that using the empirical correlations gives a great confidence in view of the variation is less than 15% in most of the cases. Now I'm coming to you about the model introduction. Empirical model is prepared to predict the settlement of shallow foundations, incorporating the soil index and plasticity characteristics. The model incorporates the computation of over-consolidation ratio, time rate settlement, magnitude of settlement, and differential settlement of foundations. The model will be useful for foundation design, incorporating the differential settlement of foundations. This model is proposed to obtain the settlement of shallow foundations for alluvial deposits. In this model, input parameters are soil index and plasticity characteristics for obtaining the settlement of foundations. The soil index and plasticity characteristics, in addition to the geometrical foundation parameters and load on the foundations, are required to obtain settlement using this empirical model. Model inputs are the soil properties and geometrical parameters used as input parameters, such as percentage finer, bulk unit weight, water content, liquid limit, plasticity index, specific gravity, standard penetration resistance and value, width of the footing, length of the footing, depth of the footing, degree of saturation. And model computes the area of footing, shape load on the footing with dry unit weight of the soil gamma D, void ratio E, thickness of the compressible layer H, void ratio at liquid limit, existing overburden pressure P0, and pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation risk. These are the empirical model parameters which is being required as an input. You may put your project name, project number, footing number, and then other values as shown to you earlier in terms of percentage fines, type of soil, unit weight, water content, liquid limit, plasticity index, specific gravity, N value, contact pressure between the soil and footing, width of the footing, length of the footing, depth of the footing, and degree of consolidation. Now, how much time I have left, madam?
Sir, another
Yes.
20 minutes, sir.
20 minutes. Okay, I may try to finish within 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes, we'll keep it for discussions.
Okay.
Okay.
Computation of various parameters is being done based on the input values. Area of the footing is being computed on the basis of the width and length of the footing. Shape load on the footing is being computed on the basis of the pressure intensity between the soils and foundations, an area of the footing. This model computes the dry unit weight on the basis of the whatever you have applied for your bulk unit weight and water content values. As many of you is being knowing that the gamma D is equal to G into gamma W upon 1 plus E. On the basis of that, you have E is equal to G gamma W upon gamma D minus 1. As gamma D has to be kept in kilonewton per meter cube, you may take this gamma W value as 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. We have been considered the thickness of the compressible layer as H is equal to 1.5 times the width of the footing. So width of the footing is being known to you. So thickness of the compressible layer H is equivalent to that 1.5 times of B. As you know that in case of the stress distribution computation, in finding out the value of Z, which is the center of the clay stratum, and center of the clay stratum is nothing, but it is Z is equal to H by 2. You have again EL. EL is equal to WL into G. Upon 100 is being written for if water content percentage. If you are keeping here 15, it will be 15 into 100. In case of the saturated soil, you have EL is equal to WL into G, whereas actually E is equal to WG upon SR. Here we are considering that the degree of saturation is 100%. The original effective overburden pressure P0 is being computed on the basis of at the center of the clay stratum, that is P0 is equal to gamma into D plus H by 2. This D is the depth of the foundation, and H by 2 is the center of the compressible layer. From that, that's why this has been kept as P0 is equal to gamma into D plus H by 2. The empirical correlations which we have been determined from the simple parameters, which has been determined from E by EL, or pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio has been shown here. So these equations takes care of computing the values of PC, that is pre-consolidation pressure, and OCR, that is over-consolidation ratio. Going to the next slide, this is nothing but it is compression ratio CC dash. Compression ratio can be determined either by using the WL, or if you have been entered both the parameters, by using the WL and IP both, where WL is the liquid limit and IP is the plasticity index. From the references, it has been found that this actually has to be determined from the slope of the unloading curve. But if you do not have such values, CR dash is being taken as the 10% of the CC dash. Hence, this has been written as 0.1 CC dash. So CR dash can be computed here. Why this CR dash has to be computed? I am coming to you that. Many of you may have been familiar with this equation using in the stress distribution of soil. Delta P is equal to Q into A upon B plus Z into L by Z. This we may write in kilonewton per meter square if corresponding dimensions are being given in kilonewton or meter. So the incremental stress at the center of the clay stratum is being computed. This is the incremental stress at the center of the clay stratum is being required, and it has to be computed. As you are having all the values available, it will compute the incremental stress. In our study, we have been considered that if over-consolidation ratio is less than or equal to 1.5, go on calculating it with the case of the normally consolidated soil. Otherwise, you go with the over-consolidated soil. Now the value of the SC is being written here in terms of HCC upon 1 plus C0, but CC dash takes care of CC dash is equal to CC upon 1 plus E0. Log 10 P0 plus delta sigma, that is delta P upon P0. Now, you do have for the ore consolidated soil, only the compressor index is not sufficient. Some values has been given in the book of the Robert W. Day using CRDS and CCDS both to compute for finding out the consolidation settlement. Now, you can have to obtain the value of the consolidation settlement either for the normally consolidated soil or for the ore consolidated soil. In view of applying the depth factor and rigidity factor, considering the value of both the factors as 0.8, the corrected consolidation settlement is being computed here. SCC is equal to 0.64 SC. As you know that, in case of the sandy soil, the N value plays an important role, and based on that, in computing the value of the immediate settlement, the value of the elastic modulus has to be given. To find out the value of the elastic modulus, the standard penetration resistance N value has to be given. Many of you may be familiar with the N value, standard penetration test, the significance of the standard penetration test, importance and use of the standard penetration test. Whenever I am teaching in geotechnical engineering, I teach to my students that 85 to 90% of the conventional foundation design is based on the capital N value, that is on the standard penetration test. It is because of it has been correlated with the sandy soil, it has been correlated with the clay soil, both. You have number of empirical correlations available to find out the strength parameters for both the cases, non-cohesive soil and cohesive soil, using the N value. The immediate settlement can be computed. You might be familiar with the QB, 1 minus mu square upon ES into some say factors. In view of that, this settlement correction factors is being taken and this value is being found. So total settlement of the foundation is being computed as the immediate settlement and consolidation settlement, which can be used for the total settlement of the foundation computation. Now, you might be referring to the IS course for permissible settlement of the foundations. This is given, what are the permissible settlement of the foundations, and you can act accordingly. If IP is not known, you can use CV can be found out using the liquid limit as discussed earlier. If it is known, CV can be found out with IP, giving the more correlation coefficients. Time rate settlement deals with the degree of consolidation. Based on that, you are finding out the time factor TV. If degree of consolidation is less than 60%, you are using this equation for finding out the time factor. If degree of consolidation is greater than or equal to 60%, you are using this equation for finding out the time factor. You may have the two ways of your drainage. One is the single drainage and second one is the double drainage. In case of the single drainage, you are applying H is equal to H for finding out the time required for the consolidation T. And in case of the double drainage, you will have to take H is equal to H by 2 for finding out the time required for the consolidation. Similar things you can apply for the number of footings and you can find out the differential settlements too. So this is the discussion which I have been made for deriving the new empirical correlations, using the empirical correlations, feasibility of the empirical correlations, simple model to find to use it for finding out the consolidation settlement for the preliminary design. So it does save the time for your preliminary design. And extensive database of geotechnical properties of SMC and SUDA has been presented. It has been shown that such a database can provide the information regarding trends, relationships, and statistical properties, a mechanism whereby the test results can be checked and geotechnical information for preliminary design purposes. Now, empirical model is proposed to predict the settlement of the shallow foundations discussed to you in the detail. What model incorporates, it has been discussed to you. What is the usefulness for optimization of the foundation design for the model and to obtain the differential settlement, it has been discussed to you. Various empirical correlations which we have derived for our regions and our soils and which has been compared with the other soils too, to extend its use to at the other places has been shown to you. A check of predicted and permissible settlement for structures can be carried out to save expensive time and consuming testing. The heterogeneity of this data may be used to select the number of such sampling and testing. The derived correlations are applicable to all alluvial cohesive soils. Falling in the range of study area, this work can be adopted to other regions to predict the probable settlement of shallow foundations. The predicted and measured values for other regions are fairly comparable for the actual settlements. Now, these are the references which have been used. There is a long list of the references which have been shown as a part of the literature review in your study. I'm sorry. Okay. Can you, 1 minute. Can you this slide, please? Let me know. Can you see this slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So these are the literature review. The long list of the literature review has been kept here. So interested persons can go through it. And thank you all for your patience listening.